That's right.
Yes.
You know, praise Allah, you know, and honor to the Prophet for that. Because, I mean, most importantly, we're trying to, you know, get back to that. We're trying to do what Jesus did. So, you know, we need to know how to, you know, transmute the flesh,
That's right.
you
That's right.
know. So we have to proclaim our nationality, or our true heritage of a spiritual, you know, nature, not just, you know, the flesh and the carnal self. But
That's
we're,
right.
you know, everybody's so caught up in taking on the identity of how we've been raised up in society.
That's
You know,
right.
as
That's
much as
right.
they think by proclaiming their nationality, you know, and taking out their nationality card, that's only a percentage of where we need to be, you know, within
Yes.
ourselves.
Yes.
You know, the
Yes.
prophet said, study yourself, and if you ask me again what to study, I will reply, yourself.
That's
And
right.
that's for the reason that if you don't know yourself and you can't save yourself, you can't save humanity.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
we're all connected and bound by cords.
Hmm.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Oh, if we could ever get that point across.
Praise Allah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, listen. We are now live. We're live. I want to say Islam to the audience. This is Quarantine Conversation with the Moderator, spiritually fortifying dialogue with the Grand Sheik and Moderator, the Moorish Science Temple of America, Brother R. Jones-Bey. Islam. So listen.
Islam.
I mean,
Islam.
I have to tell you, the conversation you and I had earlier, that really helped me because, you know, where how the cares of the world are spoken of symbolically in Revelations with the
Yes.
flood that came out the dragon's mouth.
Yes.
We are being flooded with
Yes.
disturbing and painful imagery,
Right.
flooded with it. You know,
Right.
yes sir, yes sir. And and as you pointed out, it has the purpose of unfitting us for our destiny.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know,
Y- Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
to unfit us.
I tell you more. It's going to be, but we might as well prepare. It says, John said, prepare, O Israel, prepare to meet your king.
Mm,
More. We are being prepared to meet the king.
mm.
And do you know we are in the process of dethroning a giant. The giant does not want to leave the throne.
Wow.
The giant is not trying to leave. He's not going to leave the throne willingly.
Mm.
He's going to throw out everything he possibly can to intimidate, to frighten, to cause frustration, to incite anger.
Right.
And he
Mm.
wants us to respond in like manner.
Right.
Because if we can respond in like manner, then he got us too.
Brother, I'm glad you pointed that out. So it was a group conversation with some other sheiks. Brother Stuart Bey, Brother A. Hopkins Bey was on it as well. And the question was asked, what do we think about these current situations?
Right.
Right. And I mentioned that in some of the white supremacist manifestos,
Yes.
one of the main strategies
Yes.
to commit acts of violence on
Yes.
soft targets,
Yes.
to incite rage in
Yes.
Asiatics so they
Yes.
will respond and the authorities can come down on them.
Sure. And look, hey, Bay, listen. And what do Asiatics do when they want to show their disapproval? Their recent practice has been to gather together, all in one place,
That's fact.
putting
That's
themselves right in the middle.
right in the middle.
But you know why? Because then they stop thinking and they start to move on emotions
That's a
and
fact.
feelings. I got to get out here. I'm gonna show them. Look, wait a minute. The wise man would say, look, the prophet tells us stay out of crowds.
That's right.
Now, if he tells us to stay out of crowds, why do you think that's so? Because when you become subject to the mob, you become subject to it's, you know, that what is it called, when they martial law.
That's fact.
Then they can do any look. Then they can do anything to you,
brother. I promise you, that is black letter policy.
Yes.
For these militarized European supremacist groups to do
no question.
That.
No question. And look, they want you to riot. Yes. They want you to.
Yes.
They may act as if, you know, they don't, but their actions show you that they don't. They want you to riot. They know what you're going to respond to, because that's the same response you've been given all last year when all the rest of the people was getting unfairly taken out.
That's fact, brother.
You're doing the same. They're doing the same thing. Now, more. Come on now.
That's fact.
They're doing the same thing, so they know how you're going to respond. So let me set the stage and get them under control without even knowing that we got them under control.
And when we do it, it's going to be live on camera.
On camera.
And it's not going to be censored.
No.
And it's going to, one of the things, brother, one of the things I mentioned in my live earlier, right? I told people, listen, when you see these videos circulating of police officers killing Asiatics or abusing Asiatics, stop sharing them.
That's right.
Stop that. I said, listen, stop sharing that stuff. I said, come on. During the time of slavery, when the Asiatic man was being hung, the greatest damage wasn't being done to him. It was being done to the wife and child watching.
Yes, that's no question. Because they got to carry it.
I said, so what do you think you're doing when you keep sharing this stuff? You are participating in your own traumatization.
That's what you, and look, European psychology.
Yes. Yes.
We're still, see, when you still accept their teachings, you still respond in the way that they have put things in motion for you to respond.
That's fact.
Well, let me tell you something. When you are practicing Islamism,
yes, sir,
and even in the midst of that chaos and confusion, you thinking,
yes,
what can you do if you go out there and get all beat up and hurt? What can you do?
Absolutely nothing.
But except pray that they tend to you properly if they take you to the hospital. So what they've really done is silenced your voice.
That's what they've done.
And intimidated the other people that's been watching that mess.
There you go. There you go. They further traumatize those that might follow you.
There's no question.
That's a fact.
It's no question. So to me, the most sensible thing to me to do, listen, we need to get together and stop talking so much and telling people what we're going to do.
How about that?
And telling everybody our business.
How about
we
that?
need to come to a conclusion.
Yes, sir.
Based off of reason.
Based off of reason. Yes,
and not let them persuade us or influence us to join into unruly behavior.
Right.
That can cause us to get hurt.
There you go, bro. There you go. That's right.
We got to out. See, we've been outmaneuvered because we have been outthought. They outthink us because we're trying to think like them. We're not like them. We're not like that. You're trying to combat something that it's not even in you to combat like that. But you can't get that across to our people because they're angry.
Right.
Until that anger subsides, you're not going to hear or see anything but your anger.
That's fact. That's fact. That is a fact.
You think, look, this recent incident, don't you know that man know he had his knee on that man's neck? Don't you know that they had the volume up so that people could hear the man say, "I can't breathe"? Don't you think that's by chance or accident?
Right.
You think that's pretending?
Right.
That's a whole drama that was performed to get you to act and respond in a certain way.
It's the truth, brother. It's the truth.
They just playing you. They playing you. They playing you,
brother. That's the truth. I am so. I'm telling you, I'm so grateful that when you and I spoke earlier, the first things out of your mouth fixed me. I was fixed immediately because earlier, brother, this morning,
praise the Lord for that.
I was not in a good place. But the first few things you said, I was just like, wow, snap out of it. And those things were, wow, man.
Well, we keep getting caught up in playing their game. More, this same thing has been going on way back there with Tawana Browley when that took place in New York.
Yep.
Yusef Hawkins. All this is the same stuff. And then what they do, what we do to ourselves, one person pops up as if they're going to be the savior, and they become our so-called leaders. Then they go into negotiations.
That's what happens.
Get their pockets fat.
That's what
and
happens.
The very people who had to suffer those atrocities are never heard from again.
That's what happens. Somebody politicizes the
no
trauma.
Question. There's no question. It's no question. Ooh. It's no question. And it's the same thing going over and over and over. But our people never ask themselves, but it never gets any better.
Never.
Why doesn't it get any better? Well, as long as they continue to cling to names and principles that delude to slavery, it can't get better.
It can't get better. That's right. That's right.
It can't get better, Mo.
Yes, sir.
It can't get better. They don't treat citizens like that, Mo.
Isn't that something?
Those people, our people that's being treated like that are not considered citizens.
Mm-hmm.
They're still considered property.
Mm-hmm.
Because the name that they delude to slavery, they still cling to.
Brother, to your point, earlier today, I stated that the one European woman in Central Park 2 days ago, Amy Cooper.
Yes.
What she did was access the system.
Yes.
To punish.
Yes.
An Asiatic.
Yes.
Who merely informed her of the rules of the park. And what that did is that it's the demonstration, the knowing demonstration that through this system, she has control over his physical body anytime she chooses.
Anytime, more. Anytime.
How did the prophet say it? Those who fail to recognize the constitution of their free national government.
That's right. Are classed as undesirables and are subject to all misuse and abuse that the citizens care to bestow upon them.
Yes, sir.
See, the issue is more. The issue is proclaim and practice. Proclaim your nationality and practice.
That's fact.
The prophet brought us what's needed to help make us better citizens.
Better citizens. That's right, brother. Yes, sir.
See, because the only way that we're going to address the situation as it presently stands is we have to be recognized. They're only doing things to our people because our people, they lack recognition. They're not recognized as parts of the human family because there's no such thing as Negro, black, or colored attached to the human family. So they have no rights that the citizens are bound to respect because they're not even considered human beings.
Human beings. People, to your point, again, Amy Cooper. She's dialing in 911, basically dialing in a lynching. And she's strangling her dog in the process. Brother, initially people had more concern for the dog.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
They had more concern for the dog than the fact that Had they been there when the police got there, he would have probably not be living today.
Ain't that something more? But our people, that's why these whole conversations more is about how we think about ourselves.
How we think about, I'm telling you,
No.
that's a fact.
We really have to go and see our people really have to get serious. They have to get serious and say, wait a minute, what am I doing wrong? What's not right? Why am I continue treated like this?
Reflection is the business of man. A
sense of the state.
His state
is his first duty. See, and then when we change, and then when our current of thought starts to change in the right direction for us,
yes.
Then watch how they respond when we present ourselves in the manner that's becoming those who are coming from out of the dark into the light. See how they start responding to us then. And it won't take a whole bunch of marching up and down the street. See, you don't have to continue to jeopardize and put yourself in danger. If these people then kill one person, what do you think they care about when you marching up down the street, breaking stuff, throwing rocks and bottles?
They already know. Man, listen. They're already, every municipal police agency is already militarized.
Yes, they are more.
Already militarized.
Yes, they are.
They're ready for that.
More. They're waiting for the proper, more. Everything takes place at an appointed time.
Right.
They're waiting for the appointment of time that will allow them to respond and exercise.
Yes, sir.
Martial law.
Absolutely.
See, that's the objective. We got to get some stuff going on here so we can implement martial law.
Correct.
We're going to have to pin them down because for real, during this pandemic, there's going to be a food shortage. So they're going to have to put you in a controlled environment.
It's already beginning. When recently I was showing the wife a report about how there's a new resurgence of the coronavirus nationwide, but what's happening?
Yes.
It's hitting like a checkerboard across the United States. And it's hitting rural areas more than the inner cities. And affecting the food supply.
My brother, and that's all that needs to, and all that has to do is pick up momentum, and they will rope you off.
Just like that. That's when
they'll rope you off.
That's when
get support because they was put on you that you're responsible for the virus. And see, they're gonna have to do something because food shortages is no joke.
No joke.
See, when that food gets short, it all started over the fight over the food from the atmosphere.
How about that?
The conflict came when the food, it was about the food.
That's right. That's right. See, wow. See,
and I'm saying more. Look at this part.
Yes, sir.
Not only we're talking about a food shortage, we're talking about the devaluation of the dollar.
Yep. Correct.
And you got these people that's going to be roped off because they're the people that's going to be experienced this hard hit.
Yes.
And we got to have them in a certain area because they're going to cut up. We know they're going to cut up because they got a history of cutting up.
Right. That right.
See, we gotta help. We gotta help our people, Mo.
Brother, I don't know if you saw the rioting in Minnesota.
Yeah, I got glimpses of it. I know it, Mo. That's what hurt me to my heart.
Yes, sir.
To actually see people, they don't know what's being done to them. They don't know they're being used as pawns.
And then the other people who believe that that's a proper response.
Of course they do. Of course they do. Because they've been programmed to think like that.
Yes.
That's what the slaveholders did to the slaves. He programmed them.
That's fact.
So that he knew what type of response he was going to get when he implemented his devious plan to keep them in mental slavery. He knew what they were going to do, because it's like, you're going to do this because once I put this in motion, this is how you react.
Right.
You've been trained to react like that.
Right. You've been trained. Brother, let me tell you, that Holy Koran-Tine sign symbol of America is something else.
It ain't nothing like it more.
Brother, right now, you sounding like what you just said. You sound like an expert sociologist, because that's exactly what's happening. It's the automation of society.
That's right, brother. That's right.
They got it down to a point where they can
yes, they do.
the sugar up 10 cents and know which segments of the population are going to abuse their wife and kick the dog.
You better bet it. See, the rulers and the rich always want to stay in power.
Yes, sir.
So they're going to find ways to keep power in their possession when it comes to their slaves.
True. True.
See, people talking about they free. You're not free. You're not free.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
As a matter, I'll go as far as to say this, babe. Right now, we don't really even know what freedom really is. We have a earthly or worldly perception of freedom. See, and that worldly or earthly perception of freedom is just simply taking your bindings off you, and since you no longer have the appearance of bindings, you think you're free.
Brother, can I say something to that point?
Yes.
That all of us in the organization need to hear.
Yes, yes.
So many of us think that this fez makes us free.
I know it. and look, that in the nationality card.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something? That's right.
See the more.
That's right.
You know, my brothers and sisters, you know, it just can't be emphasized enough, babe.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be imperative that they accept that this is a thought movement. Right. The only way victory is assured to those who incorporate the directed thought.
Right.
The thought that's directed from the source from which we come.
Correct.
If we just start grabbing, if we just start like being more receptive,
yes,
and stop being so earthly,
right,
we can see the benefit and the advantage,
yes,
of thinking like he has instructed us to think.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something? And back to that. Okay, back to an earlier point. When I had the conversation with you earlier, and I said you set me straight with just the first few words, and those first few words with this, and I was just like, wow, man. And though they were, why are we allowing ourselves, or we can't allow ourselves to, after knowledge, to fall victim to the reflexes.
Yes, right, brother.
Of the fulfilling of the prophecy.
That's right, brother.
When we should be paying attention to the fulfillment of the prophecy.
The prophecy, exactly. See, we get easily sidetracked more.
Wow.
We get caught up in the manifestations.
Yes,
see, sir. All these more. See, I'm not you, I, myself, and the rest of your wife, my wife, and the rest of the Moors. They've heard these prophecies before.
Yes.
And as these things start to become made manifest, we start forgetting. We start forgetting that we've been told. So now, if we've been told, it's a reason why we were been told.
Right.
John told us.
Yes.
Marcus Garvey told us.
Yes.
Prepare. Prepare to meet.
That's right.
Prepare to meet your king.
Prepare to meet your king.
Look, so you have lived in sin? The poor cry in your streets? You regard them not? Come on, Mo.
Sounds like 2020 to me.
That's what it sounds like to me.
That's right. That's right.
You know? So, you know, we got to stop getting caught up in the illusion or the reflexes just appearing.
Yes, sir. That's right. That's right, brother. A part of me felt ashamed. It's like, wait a minute, but that's what a brother does. My brother's in adversity, right?
Right.
That's what a brother does. I was just like, wow, and it was like a snap out of it moment. Like, you know what? He's right. I have no business getting caught up in the shadows, and not looking at the actual objective.
Look, always remember something, babe. And it's for all those, remember, who can hear the sound.
Yes.
Your targets. They have to remove the targets.
Right.
The targets are those individuals who are accepting these teachings and making those teachings a part of head and heart. You become a target because you are an opposing thought to the thought that has been established in this country.
Correct.
So you are a target. We have to identify the targets and eliminate the targets. Because the targets are the threat. Because they're the ones who's going to say, when we say this, they're going to say that.
Right.
No, that ain't right. No, that's just, all you're doing is pacifying us.
Correct.
All you're doing is divide and conquering us.
Correct.
All you're doing is appealing to our carnal appetites and place wedges in our relationships to keep us at each other. See, we're saying, look, you can keep your stuff.
Right.
You can keep your stuff.
That's right. Because,
see, there's no need to come to me with the proposition. Look, Judas already showed me that.
How about that?
See, Judas already showed me what a cross artist would do for a few pieces of silver. Don't bring me that. You see what I'm saying?
He said a cross artist.
He's a cross artist.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. He crossed him.
Yes, sir.
For a few pieces of silver, just like so many of us cross each other for money.
For money.
And look, that's not going to be worth the paper is printed on.
I'm telling you.
We're selling out each other down the road. We should be. What we need to be doing is trying to pull those who can hear us and say, look, don't fall for that.
Right.
Don't keep falling for that.
That's right. Don't keep falling for it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a fact. Brother, you hit on all of that. Everything you just said really lies at the root. You actually addressed the root of all the things that have been bothering me the past few days. Even after we spoke, I'm like looking at other people and I'm getting a lot of messages from other people and they're upset and they're angry and it's just like, wow, y'all don't get it. But once again, man, it brought me back to the teaching. Man is not the body of the soul, man's spirit.
That's what he is.
Part of Allah. And something
else
you said earlier in the conversation about know that cherubim and seraphim that rule the stations of the sun.
That's right.
Allah that rules the solar stars are his protectors and his guides
and his
victory. But you said that they're immaterial. But guess what?
That's right.
Man is also immaterial. So that means they don't care nothing about your flesh.
They don't. They don't. They don't.
Nothing about your flesh.
They don't.
Right.
They don't. They don't even look. They don't even manifest in flesh.
Mm.
See, that's why. See, I've come to the conclusion we can't lump all angels and cherubims and seraphims together.
Right.
Because their responsibilities are different.
Facts.
Based on what has been made available to us.
Right.
Now, these things are made available to us so that we can see a distinction. Maybe we will, in our unfoldment and in our development, we may see a little different down the road. But at this moment in our growth and development,
right,
how can they be the same when one is non-manifest and the other one can manifest?
Can manifest.
See, the prophet never told it. Allah never said that. He said that an angel is a thought manifested in the flesh.
That's right.
He said that the cherubim and seraphim are the rulers of the station of the sun and spirit of the mighty Allah who rule the solar stars. Those are two different beings or two different evolutions of beings. You know, because they're different thoughts. They are different thoughts.
That's right.
You know, so the cherubim, they give us, they talk to us.
Yes.
Just like the angels come and bring messages. They talk to us.
Yes.
You know, but you know, Mo.
But see, again, how that's eminently practical.
Right.
Is if man is not the body of the soul, but man is spirit.
Right.
And therefore, our protectors with us
are
immaterial and care little to nothing about our flesh.
That's right. That's right. Hey, babe.
We should probably act accordingly.
That's right. That's right. Hey, babe, but check this. Do you remember when you were growing up? Mm-hmm. And there was always someone seemed like they were always in you trying to tell you to do the right thing, and and they would be talking to you, and and because with me, I would always say, who is that?
Right.
That keep on, where is this? Who is, that's talking to me?
Yes.
I had to find out that who was being spoken to was me as spirit from my protector. And you talking about from your cherubim. That's with you all the time.
All the time.
Unmanifested. And instructs you when you listen.
When you listen.
When it tells you to look, you shouldn't do that. Don't do that. But your will is so sluggish that you don't adhere to the voice. But you, in your moment of silence, you say, you know what? If I had to listen, I never would have did this. Well, who you think talking to you? Your protector, your guide.
Your guide.
They're telling you, don't do that. That's not the right way to think. Why are you thinking like that? But with me, I'm so at the time was so under the influence of the promptings of my carnal self.
Yes, sir.
That I hear you, but that's not what I'm willing to do.
Isn't that something? And then over time, I can tell you about my own personal experience. Over time, as we get older,
yes,
we learn to create more noise to drown that voice out.
That's what we do. Yeah. But only when you come back home and you start to return to the state of mind of your ancient forefathers, yes, you now start to think about those things again and see them differently.
Yes, sir.
Who has been talking to me all through my life, now I recognize as being a brother sent to aid and assist us to get through this earth life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And he never stopped talking. I just stopped listening.
Right. And even these things, people, the average individual, the average Asiatic that would hear us right now would think we're talking about just basic grade school morality.
Yes.
And they don't get that this talk is building blocks and the blueprint to their survival. survival in these trying times.
More. This is the end of it, Mo.
Yeah.
This is the end of it. You know, we have never, you know what? We've never been here without a guide. We've ever since we have been on earth, we've always had a guide.
Right.
He never abandoned us, Mo. We abandoned him.
We abandoned him.
Because of our behavior and our practices and our acceptance of the worldly way of life.
That's right.
The more we went into the world, the further we left from him. Because look, it can't occupy the same space at the same time. Truth and falsehood, it can't.
Yeah.
And it's your choice. It is your choice.
Right. That's fact. That's fact.
Now we coming out of this. We're getting, at least now. I'm in a point where I can accept it.
Yes.
I can accept it now, so that helps me see differently. At first, I had a little doubt. No, man, you know man. What is that? I ain't trying to. No, that ain't. I shunned it, because I didn't understand it.
Yes.
But what I did understand was the world, so I chose the world. It was much more tangible. I don't understand this other stuff that's going on because I can't see it, because I've accepted what I see as being real.
Ain't that something?
It's something more for real. It lets you know how our minds were taken and reshaped.
That's right.
Those people knew that if we can get their minds, that's where things are made. So what will we make? The things we put in their minds for them to think about. And they take a vow. We will never let them go. Pharaoh, look, Pharaoh, let the people go. We will never let them go.
That's right. You know, brother, again, you bring it right back. You bring it right back to the current situations going on in Minnesota, in Central Park, right? You bring it right back there. If the people, so ill-affected, truly understood that the means of control is happening on the higher plane.
That's right.
Of the things that they don't see.
That's right. That's right.
They would behave and react differently.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it would cause much of the illusion to dissipate.
To disappear. It's the truth. It would cause much of it to disappear.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
People in the West, this one European sociologist put it this way. He said the Western world has managed to secularize even religion.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Isn't that something?
Oh, yes.
To secularize religion. It's now become a hobby or pastime that's separate.
That's what it does. Yes.
From everyday living.
That's right.
So nobody or few associate the spiritual truths
with
everyday life.
They don't see where it fits.
Right.
They don't see where it fits. And that's why it's so difficult to help for people to understand that you can live like Jesus.
Right. Correct.
See, you can do that. You can do that, but it's been taught you can't do that.
Right.
You can't live like that.
As a matter of fact, there's so many people that would be offended by you saying you can live the life of Jesus or experience the life of Jesus.
I know it.
Although Jesus commands them to do so in the Bible.
Well, sure does. Sure does.
Wow.
You know, and all we're talking about is imitating a righteous man.
Isn't that something?
All we're talking about is being able to imitate a God-like man.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. I mean, it's not hard. It's not an impossibility.
Right. Right.
It's not an impossibility for me to be nice to you and to treat you as I would have you treat me.
Treat me. That's right. That's right.
You know, I mean, it's not impossible to act like that.
That's right.
But their teachings make it impossible.
Yes.
Because you can never do it with their teachings. It is impossible.
That's right.
Those teachings will never help us to understand or learn how to imitate Jesus.
I mean, brother, in our Sunday school, right, we were discussing, trying to go from memory, questions 25 through 28. And, you know, one of the questions, right, who were his father and mother, as in Jesus?
Yes.
Joseph and Mary.
Yes.
And I asked the members, I said, so what stands out to you about that? I said, don't go to Jupiter or Pluto, think the obvious.
Right.
What stands out? And what came out was that he had a father.
That's right.
I said, that's called a secret teaching.
Praise the Lord.
The reason it's called a secret teaching, because you weren't supposed to know that.
Right.
Because if you knew that, it would change your perspective on the man.
Right. That's right.
Which would change your thoughts and actions.
Yes.
See?
Yes. That's why they promote the Immaculate Conception.
Yes, sir.
They separate him from being like you and you being like him.
Right. Right. Right.
And the prophet came and straightened all that up when he said, it ain't but one way for a man to be produced.
One. Ain't but one. Right?
Ain't but one, Mo. Yeah, we laugh at it because it is amusing once we get to a certain point and you can see the game that has been played.
But it goes back to what you said earlier about an insidious thought controlling your thinking.
Yes, no question.
A thought controlling your thinking.
That's right.
I said it in the Matrix, programs hacking programs.
Ain't that the truth? That's the truth. That's the truth. That is the truth. That is the truth. You know? That's the truth, more. And it's coming to light for all those who have eyes to see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, it's coming to light.
Absolutely.
And as it comes to as the light, as the holy breath that's in the land, it's in the land.
Yes, sir.
You know, and it's bringing it is immersing us in light.
Mm-hmm.
Now, those who walk in the light, their lives, they live a certain way. They live a certain way. They have a certain way that they live their lives. Yes, when you walk in light, you walk in you are a principled person because yes, principles are in light.
Yes, sir.
Non-principles are out of light. There is no light with the one who has no principles.
Right.
But for one who has principles, he walks in light.
Yes, sir.
So if we are walking in light, and walking in light is if you just keep it basic, it's having a rule over your life.
Having a rule over your life.
Having a rule over your life. Mm-hmm. Something to govern your behavior.
Correct.
Your thinking.
That's right.
You think in accordance to principles of action.
Mm-hmm.
And people see that and they learn that they can rely on you.
Right.
And because see, once a person can grasp a better way of life and they can get a glimpse and know that it exists, they watch the man or woman that's living like that.
Correct. Correct.
You see?
Correct.
You know?
That's
so
fact.
We're examples more. We are the ones who come out of the Sunday school that's the guidance of the nation, Mo.
Guidance of the nation. Yes, sir.
We're here to help our people. But we can only help the ones that's willing to be helped You see, we can't try to light a candle that don't want to be lit.
And see, that touches on, wow. See, some people would say that such a statement is cruel,
Right.
or could be cruel.
Right.
But those are the people that still believe
Right.
that flesh thinks and bones reason.
It's no question. It's
You
no
know?
question. And because Jesus told his disciples, he said, look, you go somewhere and they don't listen, you knock the dust off your sandals and go up and move on out.
Just that simple.
What can you do if they're not ready to receive? You don't have the authority to make them receive.
Mm-hmm. What they've determined at that moment, at that particular moment,
yeah,
they are incapable or unwilling to evolve spiritually any further.
And they're not trying.
Right.
Because they have made a choice.
Right.
I've chosen to be here. I don't want to hear what you have to say. Leave the premises.
Mm-hmm. So
and what you gonna do? Stay there and try to argue and convince them?
Right. And interfere with their own karma that they made for themselves.
And then go against what the prophet tell you, but when he tells you a wise man don't endanger himself for a fool.
We're fools. That's right. That's right. Yes, sir.
These times we have to make sure we can hear.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Because see, a lot of the manifestations from the reflexes more, it's gonna affect us.
I bear witness.
It's gonna affect us more. And if we are not at a certain point at a certain time, we can play ourselves out of pocket.
I bear witness. I bear witness. And it can, and you know how that works. Even like in the old, in the world, in Asia, in our former life, things can go south real fast.
Yeah, more. Yeah, more. Certainly. Certainly.
Yes, sir.
Certainly. See the lower self wants to always keep you in the past or in the future. It bypasses the present.
Ain't that something?
It doesn't want you to think about the present.
Don't think about now.
He wants you to think about the past or get caught up in the future.
Yes, sir. That's right.
But it's on your present choice that depends your future happiness.
Absolutely.
The present. We got to remain in the present.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it's
beautiful teachings, brother. They're beautiful teachings. But to honestly and sincerely say they're beautiful,
yes,
can only be said if we're practicing and understand the beauty through the practice.
That's right.
That's it.
That's it.
It's like this stuff truly, like I said before, this is not just, hey, I'm trying to be moral because I want to be a good person. No, this is survival.
Right. This survival more.
This is survival. Yes. A high morality or striving for a high morality is how you survive.
That's how we survive more. On the plane of things made manifest.
Things made manifest. That's fact.
That's
fact.
It's very important more that,
Yes.
It's very important that it's very important that you got to develop some reliance on your religion. You got to learn to rely on your way of life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It is more. And until you learn that, you can't be doing but one or the other. You're relying on that which is right, or you're relying on what you have accepted as being right.
As being right. Too many of us put our religion in our hip pocket.
Sure we do. Because we don't understand it. We think religion consists of going to your holy place on the days designated.
And going through the motions.
Just going through the motion. Just showing up.
Yes, sir.
but you haven't done any work.
Right.
The most work you've done is to get there. Nothing else.
Or the intrigue of political social climate.
Sure. What's next? What's next?
Right.
Because if you're not living it, your pursuit is political.
It is political. That's the truth. That is the truth.
Yeah.
It's not right. If you're not living it,
right.
What else is there? What
is it?
What other reason?
What is it?
Right.
What are you in pursuit of?
Social club status.
Politics.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Politics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know. And our people, you know, and it's our people, they just don't know more.
Right.
You know, they just don't know. You know, they just don't know. That's why it's not going to, this is not going to be. Prophet said he's not going to wake them all up at once.
Right.
Because if he does, he can't do nothing with him himself.
Right. Which is a testament to the power of the people.
No question. And the people have the power.
Yes, sir.
The statesman will proclaim if he has it. The rule of the people, you know, he acts like he got it.
Right.
But the subject findeth that he possesseth it.
Yes, sir.
The people.
Brother, that's a deep political lesson right there.
The people more.
When we talk about this with people from the political engagement perspective,
yes,
we say every political endeavor, all the way up to the president,
yes,
has to be supported at the grassroots level.
That's right.
The people have to support it, whether they realize it or not.
That's right. That's right.
Realize it or not, but that's man. That Koran is something else.
It is more. It is more. It is more. It is the source, from the source from which we come.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, it's our instructions. These are your instructions on earth. Carry out your instructions. Here are your instructions. Since you have decided to go to earth, let me give you some instructions.
Let me give you a manual.
Yeah, let me get, because see, without it, you ain't gonna make it.
No. No, that's a fact.
And then he told us, look, let's hold it back until they're ready.
Yes.
Let's hold them back. Let's hold it back until Jesus comes again.
Yes.
Let Jesus manifest again. Now when he manifests in the new era, then we loosen the keys.
Isn't that something?
It's something, Mo. It's something.
Wow. Wow.
It's really something.
That's right.
You know, the word of God from God himself, Mo.
From God himself.
From the almighty, eternal, incomprehensible Allah himself gives us those instructions by way of the one whom he chose to come to earth and give it to us again.
That's right. That's right.
And who told us to remind us, if you were with me, those who were with me 2,000 years ago are with me today.
Today, rallying cry.
That's right.
Another tour of duty.
Look, come on, ye Asiatic of America, and hear the truth about your nationality and birthrights. That ain't nobody but Jesus in this new era making the call.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Look, you're not Negroes.
Right. Right.
You are not Negroes.
Not Negroes.
You are today, without doubt or contradiction, what your forefathers were.
Brother, do you understand what that just, hold on. Let me tell you what that just did for me. With the way in which you said it and the timing in which it was said. You are not Negroes. We know that the word Negro deludes to black and death.
That's right.
What does it say in Revelations that Jesus was coming to do? When he comes on the second time, it's the what? The resurrection.
Ain't that the truth?
What people in history of humanity have ever been called the dead people besides us?
I know.
What?
I know. I know. Something, ain't it, Mo?
Wow. Wow. Yeah,
It's something. It's
that's
something.
amazing. Brother, that help you. I tell you, I have no idea how much the conversations we had today helped.
Well, I hope so. Praise the Lord for that.
Man.
Hope I was able to say something. But let me say this, Mo.
Yes,
But
sir.
when it makes them kind of impressions on you, it ain't me.
Praise the Lord. Yes, sir.
You see
Yes,
what
sir.
I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
See, and I have to constantly remind myself of that because see, vanity is powerful in my heart too.
Yes, sir. Mm. You know what, brother? To your point, I would say two things really quick. The Chinese, based
Yeah.
on the Confucian principle,
Yes.
they have a social custom. If you give them a compliment, they go, "Oh no," like that,
Yeah.
to guard themselves against their own vanity.
Yes, Mo. Yeah.
That comes from Confucius,
Yeah.
right? And then another thing regarding something you had said, said earlier. You said if it had that effect on you, it's not me, right?
Yeah. Right.
My martial arts instructor said it this way. He said, "Do a thing 100 times, it becomes difficult. Do it 1,000 times, it becomes easy. Do it 1,000 times, 1,000 times. It is no longer you doing the thing, but the thing doing
Thing.
itself through you."
I hear you.
And he
I hear
said,
you.
only then can something that has been done be said to be done well.
Praise the Lord for that.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mo, isn't it? When you share with me those things, I mean, it's just like the book.
Yes, sir.
It's
Yes, sir.
what's in the book.
It's what's in the book, brother. But you know what that says for me? That the prophet giving us what he gave us allows us to stand eye to eye with everybody else on the
That's
planet,
the truth, brother.
uniting of age.
That's right, Mo. That's what it is, Mo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what it is. Excuse me. And you know what? I tell you something. My mentor used to tell me
Yes, sir.
that with this book,
Mm-hmm.
you can talk to anybody.
It's real. It's real. I bear witness. You want to talk about recognition?
Look,
I was one day I was with brother A. Hopkins Bay in Philadelphia, and we were buying some clothing out of this one store, and he walked in and he threw his hand up, Islam, right? And so they did that too, right?
uh-huh.
In the store. And I was like, wow, so you're Muslims? They said no. I said, oh, well, you recognize that? You're doing it because he did it? He goes, no, I'm from India. We do that in our country too.
You see? Ain't that something more?
Just like that. He said, we are, that's
It's something.
yes,
You know,
sir.
it's
Yes, sir.
really something. I hope that during these discussions that we've had with these past few weeks, that
Yes, sir.
Moors have hopefully heard something that will help them to become confident in what they have and know that what they have is real.
Yes, sir.
And all they really need to do is to use it. Mm-hmm.
What I would, and also to add to that, and again, this was my, if you want to call it selfish takeaway from these conversations is that, men need a pattern,
Yeah, Mo.
and, a lot of times we're told to practice,
Yeah.
right? Or we think, okay, yeah, we have to practice this, but we don't necessarily all have an example to follow in how to do so.
Right.
So we're having regular conversations, but literally, because of your experience and your personal application, right? Members can follow along in their Koran with the regular conversation.
Right. That's right. And that's what we're hoping.
So,
Praise a lot.
yes, sir. It demonstrates, as they would say in another school of thought, a sufficient degree of or sufficient proficiency.
Praise.
Yeah,
Yeah, praise a lot.
and
Praise a lot.
it becomes in like, oh, the lessons are the result of my practice.
Yes.
Not necessarily the words in the book. The words in the book are the instructions.
Yes. Yes.
Things.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You know, and if people can get that where they didn't have it before, then it was all well worth it.
Yes, that's the truth. And you know what more? And
Yes,
another thing too, I hope that they realize.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to debate to make your point.
Actual fact. Actual fact.
It's not about getting on here to prove who you are.
Yeah, this debate.
Or try to convince people that you are who you are not.
How about that? The only people that do that, brother, we have a saying in martial arts. All the guys that always want to fight everybody all the time. We call them half full buckets. The Chinese have a saying: the half full bucket makes loud splashing noises, but the full bucket is silent.
It's silent. That's right.
You know?
That's right. That's right.
That debate thing, we learned that the hard way. When we did the debate in Harlem with Ali's men back in 2016, overall, it was a beautiful demonstration. But we went in there naive with all that we thought we knew.
Yeah.
We were naive thinking, you know what? Win, lose, or draw, we just want to present the prophet intelligently. And if we do so, the clouds are going to part, the sun's going to shine, the rainbow, the birds are going to chirp. That's what we thought. Almost started a riot in that place. Them people almost went crazy, brother. And that's when it hit us. These lessons are a hot fire.
Yeah, that's the truth.
They are nothing to play with.
Nothing.
And you know what else it hit us with? The simple degree of you are not Negro, Black, colored, etc. is still a high degree.
Yes, it very high.
What? That's a high degree.
Yes, very high.
That's a high degree.
Well, my brother, look, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure spending this time with you on Wednesdays more for the last 4 more. It has been a pleasure.
Likewise.
And you have truly, truly allowed me to see some things that I was having difficulties in seeing before we started these conversations.
Oh, wow. Wow.
You know, well, and I appreciate your honesty, your sincerity, and your realism.
Yes, sir.
I love talking to real people, Mo.
Thank you, brother. Likewise. Likewise.
You know, I really do. You know, and I want to say this to your wife. Thank her for her inspiration.
Absolutely.
And you know, and look, this may be the last sitting for this.
Yes, sir.
But it's not the last sitting.
No, sir. No,
you know,
sir.
And it will definitely more as we travel the path.
Yes, sir.
We will truly meet again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
So for all those who have been listening to us, thank you so very much for your ear. Now I return it back to you.
Absolutely.
And I pray that we'll meet and we'll be able to continue conversations that maybe you've heard that may stimulate your thinking. Thinking. Okay, Moore?
Yes, sir, brother man. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much for indulging in these conversations, brother.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. May Allah bless you and your family more.
Likewise, may Allah bless you. Please give my Islams to the wife, the first lady, brother.
I most certainly will. I most certainly. You know what? She doesn't like she doesn't like first lady too much.
No,
she likes she's much more accommodating to first sister.
First sister. That's what it is then. First sister.
Yeah, she likes that. I think I forget who came up with that, but she responds to that better.
That's what it is then.
Because she that's what she's striving to be.
A sister.
A sister.
See that?
You know, that's what she's striving to be. So that's what she likes. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, more. May Allah bless y'all.
Likewise, brother.
Peace, my brother.
Peace. So that wraps up KORAN-TINE, Conversations with the Moderator. If you liked what you saw, please share the video, subscribe to the channel, share the channel, encourage others to subscribe. We're going to be doing more programming. We've got a number of very, very powerful things coming up. Very, very powerful things coming up, and they will be on this channel. They will be on this channel, hosted by yours truly. So again, this is Brother Jones-Bey with Conversations with the Moderator. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.